Hello and welcome, friends. In this chapter on Northeast, we'll discuss the challenges, security challenges in Northeast India. Northeast, as you know, friends, comprises of 7 states, the 7 sisters, and Sikkim, and it has borders with 5 countries. It has 99% of its borders with other countries. It is connected to the mainland of India through a small, narrow chicken's neck, or also called the Siliguri corridor, which is only about 22 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. Northeast is a melting point of all cultures and all languages. There are 200 or more ethnic tribes residing in the Northeast and 400 or more languages spoken in the Northeast. Friends, there was a question in 2017 in which they asked, the northeastern region of India has been infested with insurgency for a very long time. Analyze the major reasons for the survival of armed insurgency in the Northeast. This is a 10 marks question. Friends, if you read this chapter, I'm sure you will be able to answer this question to the examiner's satisfaction. In this chapter, friends, we discuss the security challenges in each of the states. Starting with Assam, we discuss the problem of illegal immigration, and we discuss the Assam Accord, and then we come to the recent challenges of the National Register on Citizens, and then we discuss the borderline issues. We discuss the recent tripartite agreement of concerning the Bodo issue. We also discuss the Karbi Anglong issue under Assam, and we discuss the KLO insurgency under Assam. Then, friends, we move to the state of Nagaland. In Nagaland, we discuss the history of the Naga insurgency, how it originated, what was the 9-point agreement of 1947, and what are the reasons for the rise of secessionist insurgency in Nagaland, and what is the recent framework agreement of 2015, and what are the most recent position of the on this dispute. And then, friends, we move to the state of Manipur, where there are various tribes such as Nagas, Meiteis, and Kukis, and various other tribes who have many of these have launched their own armed outfits, purportedly to protect their own interests and to save themselves from other tribes. But these outfits themselves indulge in acts of terrorism and violence. And thereafter, we move to the state of Tripura. Tripura has been by and large a peaceful state. We will discuss 2 recent infrastructural projects in Tripura. The first one is a rail link between Agartala and Akhora. Akhora is in Bangladesh. And the second is a river bridge between Tripura and Bangladesh over the Feni River. We thereafter move to the state of Mizoram. Mizoram has been by and large a peaceful state. Recently, there have been some demands for greater autonomy by the Hamars and the Brus, by the Hamars in the northern and the northeastern part of the state, and by the Brus in the western part of Mizoram. Then we have a box on the recent agreement for permanent settlement of Bru refugees in Tripura. And then we next move on to the state of Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, we discuss the insurgent groups such as the HNLC, which represent the interest of Khasi Jaintia tribes, and the Garo National Liberation Army, which represents the interests of Garos, and they are demanding against the migrants as well as against the exploitation of their natural resources. We thereafter move to Arunachal Pradesh, which has been by and large a peaceful state, but recently, of late, some parts of Arunachal Pradesh which border Nagaland and Myanmar, these areas have been used by NSCN militants to hide themselves, sometimes to flee security operations, and at other times to conduct extortion operations in those areas. We thereafter move to Sikkim. In Sikkim, at present, Sikkim is by and large a peaceful state. We also have a box on the inner line permit. Recently, it was in news. We discuss thereafter the causes of insurgency and underdevelopment in the Northeast. We have a detailed discussion on this. We thereafter move to the constitutional provisions for the development of the Northeast, that is the 6th schedule. We also discuss the powers of the district councils and regional councils, and we have an appraisal of the functioning of the 6th schedule. Then we discuss the Government of India's efforts for development of the Northeast. We discuss the security-related initiatives. We discuss the development-related initiatives. We also have a mention of the MP Base Bilwa Committee, and we discuss how far the government efforts have been successful in the Northeast. we end the chapter with some suggestions for better development and how to tackle extremism in the Northeast. Thank you, friends.